Now it is time for our weekly dog training segment in a segment that we call Bark in the Park. Lovely guest today is Erin Gianella. Erin happens to be a dog mom herself. She is the owner of Perfect Pals Dog Training in Denver, Colorado. She is joining us live. Erin, welcome to the show, and thanks for bringing your smile with you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Now, it's my understanding that you have a pretty interesting backstory about how you got started in dog training, and I believe it has a little something to do with your dog buddy, Gus. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so my dog, Gus, he is 11 years old now. I've had him since he was about 2. I'm looking at him over here because he's begging for treats, of course. But I adopted him at the Humane Society when I lived in Georgia. I was working like this very corporate job that I hated, by the way. And then when I moved to California, which now I'm in Denver, but when I moved to California, he started exhibiting all these like behaviors I had never seen before. He was
stressed.
Yeah, so stressed, and I didn't really understand any of it. I mean, I'd always been learning about dogs and behavior, but I didn't really understand it. But howling when I would leave, he was like scratching at the door, broke and ate some of our door frame.
So he's trying to send you a message, and you're going, "What in the world is going on here?"
Yes, I'm like, what? I've never seen this before. And he was super reactive. Like on walks, he would just be barking at other dogs and people, and I just became so interested in it. And I mean, of course, I wanted to help him and myself be less stressed, but I also just wanted to understand what was happening. And we hired our own trainer, and then after that, I was just like obsessed with it, like
sure, because if you're going to do it, you want to do it right? And it can be frustrating when you feel stuck. And I know you have a big heart, Erin, so you were like, I need help. And then I guess, did that spark that desire to help others then?
Yes, absolutely. I was so excited about everything this trainer was talking to me about. I also, and she was a great trainer, but I, had some different opinions on how I would approach things. And that like just really sparked it for me. And I was like, I really, really, really want to do this as a career. So I was lucky. I have a very supportive fiance who, I could go get my, my certification for dog training while, I was kind of working my other job. So,
that's incredible. And so how long have you been at it now? What, about 10 years, or how's it going?
Well, it's actually been a little less than 10 years. So officially been certified since 2020. But, I was training before then as well, but the industry is unregulated. So I really wanted to get my certification to just have that extra science background on it and really learn as much as I could about it. So officially been training probably like 5 or so years, but actually certified for about 3 now.
There you go. I love it. And all the while you were brainstorming and thinking and, in a sense, architecting or building this plan for what is now Perfect Pals, which is thriving. And I know you care so deeply about the bond between dogs and their owners. How important is that from a training aspect? I mean, building that trust with your animal.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the number one thing I want for dogs and their parents, right? Because if we don't have that bond, there's no trust. We're not able to, have our dogs come back to us when we call them. We want them to feel safe with us. I mean, we want our dogs to be the best part of our day, right? I mean, at least I do. You come home from being out and they're so excited, but if you don't have that bond, like it's really hard to train. It's really hard for them to trust you. And that's probably what the whole foundation of training is based off of, is how do we build this bond so that your dog can trust you and, work with you whenever you need it.
It makes sense. And you want it to be kind of like a beautiful dance. You give a little, they give a little, like they know the owner's in charge, but also, the dog needs to feel safe in its own environment as well. Now, you talk a lot about force-free and science-based training methods on your website. I noticed that. Just unpack that for us, why that's important to you.
Yeah, of course. So there are many different methods out there for training, but force-free training is basically you're using no pain, no force, no scare tactics or tools that can prevent your dog from doing undesired behavior. So force-free methods, we're basically using treats or some type of reward reinforcement, and we're marking the behavior we want to see so that we're more likely to see that in the future. And it's so important to me because, again, it goes back to that trust and that bond with your dog. But it also, I'm all about the humane treatment of dogs, right? And I want our dogs to learn versus feeling like they are being forced into these things that we want them to do, right?
Of course.
Like with humans as well, we learn better when we're not under duress or,
Yes.
so it's the same.
Of course. You can't bully a dog into better behavior. That's just the reality. I mean, they're either going to cower in fear or they're going to get aggressive. So building that relationship, nurturing that bond is so important. I have a quick question for you. Now, if a dog isn't really into treats, what are the other methods that you tend to go to build that trust or to give a reward? What are some other rewards?
Yeah, of course. So what I find really helpful for dogs that, aren't super treat motivated or just need a little bit more of a reinforcement, like I'll bring a little tug toy with me. If we're like outside or even in here, you do a quick little play session as their reward, or even affection or pets. Or, a lot of times what you can do too is if your dog's like on a diet and you're worried about them getting fat, you can use their kibble if that's what you're feeding your dog. And you can use that as training so that they're still getting that reward, but they're not quite, getting the extra calories.
There you go. I love that. You're so practical. You're helping us out so much today. Leash reactivity. I know you're very passionate about this. For those who don't know what leash reactivity is, just kind of, camp there for a moment and explain it.
Yeah, of course. So leash reactivity, it can mean a lot of different things, but realistically, we want to be able to take our dogs out with us. Maybe not everywhere, but a nice walk outside where nobody is stressed. So leash reactivity, it's mistaken sometime with aggression, but that can be reactivity, but it can also be a dog that's just so excited to be outside and around people or wherever it is that they're on a leash and they might be barking, they might be lunging, growling, or they just might be super excited and overstimulated and want to jump up on every single person they meet, right? So it's not always the scary barking, growling things. It's any type of overstimulation, basically.
There you go. So what's your training method? How do we fix that?
Yeah, so whenever I meet a client about leash reactivity or really any type of reactivity, I always preface it with, we want this training to look boring because we never want our dogs to be stressed over this threshold of reacting in whichever way they're reacting. So that means maybe we're working at a distance of 100 feet, away from this stimulation, and we're pairing these behaviors of, we're teaching them these alternate behaviors to do when they see the dog or whatever the trigger is that they're reactive to. So we move closer and closer as they're improving. And then after that, once we can get involved in the walking or getting closer to the trigger, then we're able to implement all these things that we taught the dog. So it's not necessarily a slow training. It's just, we always make sure the dog is never under stress so that they can actually be in a state to learn.
That's super helpful. Now, are there any breeds that are more prone to leash reactivity issues?
As far as everything that I've learned and worked with, it really can, it's not really based on the breed, right? So it's based on so many things. It can be something that a dog has been triggered by in the past. Maybe the dog didn't have proper socialization. It could just be genetic. So I'm not seeing it.
Hey, buddy.
There he is. I'm not, it's not just the breed. Like, it could be so many little pieces that go into it. But I do tend to see doodles, any type of doodle, have a little bit more of anxiety, but I'm not sure if that's just because of the breed or if it's, just a coincidence.
Yeah, you never know, but you're the expert. And I'm sure that one-on-one time opens your mind up to so much. It's like learning the animal, right?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah. Now, I know that you promote enrichment a lot, just for dogs as a way to help them feel a sense of control too, just in different environments. So what is your approach to helping the dog get the most out of enrichment?
So I look at it as like a prescriptive approach. So I want to try this thing, whatever activity it is that we're giving, and see how it works, how it improves the dog's, overall, not stress level, but just overall feeling. So that might mean we try something and then, in a couple weeks, that didn't really help. We're going to try something different. It's all about meeting your dog's, basic needs of, sniffing, licking, foraging, all of these different natural needs that they don't get to do when they're domesticated with us. So,
right, it makes total sense. How important is it for us to learn our dog's love language too, and to be flexible even with you as a trainer? Because sometimes we might get in our own heads as humans, like, well, no, my dog needs to respond to this. I mean, we need to be open, right, to learning, and so much goes into it. It can be breed specific, personality, and on and on and on, right?
Yes, it's so important. This is the first thing I do whenever I meet a client is, let's look at your dog's body language. Let's learn the different things that they're doing so that we can understand what it is they need. And if we are not giving them those things that they need, we're all going to be stressed or unhappy or just in a weird, environment because we're not sure what's going on. So
sure.
Really, it's probably one of the very most important things that we do with our dogs.
Oh, so Erin, I know we've covered a lot of territory today. Did I miss anything? Anything else you want to share with the dog moms watching right now?
I don't know. I could talk for hours about this, but really, I'm happy to, be a part of this community, and it's great to be, in Denver and a female owner. It's just great to have like all these people around you that are doing the same thing. So that's really all I have.
Oh, thank you, Erin. And how can folks stay on top of what's going on with Perfect Pals?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at perfectpals_dog training. We do lots of different videos and posts just giving information, keeping you updated on any business things. And of course, my website at perfectpalsdogtraining.com. We have a bunch of leash reactivity courses and information on there as well if you're needing some, beginning help there.
Oh, Erin Gianella, what a treat to have you with us today. Of course, Erin's the owner of Perfect Pals Dog Training in Denver, Colorado. Erin, thank you so much, and you take care.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks so much for watching this Dog Mom News clip. Do us a favor, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative and awesome Dog Mom News content. And be sure to click that notification bell too to stay up to date with all our new content in real time. You'll also want to be sure to join us for our live stream each Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.